Well, good morning. Welcome to Unity of Portland. Awesome to see all these smiling and shiny faces on this beautiful morning here in November. Here we are gathered together as a family. Let's sing it together.
Here we are, gathered together as a family, and bound as one, lifting up our voices together. Here we are, gathered together as a family, and bound as one, lifting up our voices together. We sing of love, we sing of life, we sing of hope, we sing of faith, we sing of life, we sing of love, we sing of light, we sing of hope, we sing of faith, we sing of light. Here we are, we're gathered together as a family, and bound as one, lifting up our voices together. We lift up our voices. Here we are, we're gathered together as a family, and bound as one, lifting up our voices together. We sing of love, we sing of light, we sing of hope, we sing of faith, we sing of light.
I say at Unity Spiritual Center of Portland, as we recognize that each one of us is a part of this human family and are being invited in such interesting ways to evolve, to break down those old thought systems that have held us, that have bound us for centuries, and to find that light within. And so as we come together this morning and we begin this service in prayer, I just welcome you into the greater knowing that each one of us is a creation of spirit, infinite, whole, complete, just as we are. And we are a part of this human journey of evolution. Let's begin this service. Oh, Mother, Father, God, infinite spirit, we say yes to the movement of spirit that happens in and through and as us now, to this understanding of this consciousness, one presence, one power, that very quantum field that we live and move and have our being in. And we know that it moves through us this day. We accept that, we celebrate it, and we allow that movement of spirit in us, through us, as us right now. And as we say yes to this movement, to this life, we recognize that order is present, divine order in our lives, in the lives of all of those around us. And on this planet, we see this new order arising, present, available, flowing to and through each of us this moment. For this opportunity to take the sacred journey of life, to remember the truth of our being, to surround and be a part of the remembering and the holding sacred every being, every journey. We encircle all of those that are saying, who am I? Where do I go? What do I do this day? We encircle all beings everywhere in that love, in that light, and we recognize an awakening. For this opportunity to gather in this knowing, we are so grateful. And so it is. Amen. So we welcome all of you this morning and celebrate this journey. I want to bring Beth up, and she will share some of what's happening here at Unity.
Good morning. Well, last week I was an explorer. Today I'm a leaf raker. So I'm dressed for the task. We are going to meet following the service. We know there's going to be a wonderful little window of sunshine where we can get out there and really hit those leaves and make a difference over there in that east parking lot. So if you can join us, we'd love to have you. We've got extra rakes, so come on out. Also following the service today, Reverend Lisa will be holding the Introduction to Unity class. This is for anybody who's interested in the path to membership. This is membership month. We have a membership orientation coming up on November the 21st, and then our new member Sunday on the 28th. So if you're interested in membership, this is the class for you, 12:30 in the chapel. And if you're just interested in learning more about Unity, you can come for that too if you have any questions. Show up. So right after the service, we are going to be doing an in-person coffee and connection. So you'll have a chance to grab a cup of coffee and a little snack before you either go to work or you come to put your mind to work at the Unity class. We're doing that downstairs. And this is the first time we have ventured downstairs since the pandemic. So we're very pleased. We are still wearing masks in the building. There's a lot going on up here today. So we figure everybody can just spread out a little bit downstairs. We invite you to do that. Grab a snack. And we hope to do this many more times. I want to mention, too, we had a lovely donation of an air purifier that's down there. Yes. So, and we've got one in the lobby, and we've got 4 in here. So we're really doing things to keep you safe while you come here for activities and to celebrate on Sunday mornings. We're very happy to share that news with you. This Friday, November the 12th, is the Ongoers Lunch. This is the 50 and older group that get together once a month for lunch. And this month, they are going to the Spaghetti Factory. And if any more information, you can contact Don Davis, but that's this Friday. I think they meet at 11:30. 11:30? Yes. Yep, okay, 11:30 Spaghetti Factory, be there. Sounds good. Next Sunday at 2 o'clock, we will be celebrating and honoring the life of our friend and musician, Billy Mixer. Reverend Sidney is going to be coming back to help us with that celebration and that service. So we invite you to go get some lunch after the service and then come back at 2 p.m. for that. I noticed a lot of you today bringing in those used candles. Thank you very much. We are collecting used candles for the gratitude service that we're going to be holding on Thanksgiving Eve. So we've got a couple more weeks to collect those, see what you got laying around the house, and bring them on in. I'm happy to announce there is no supply chain shortage here at Unity of Portland. There's a huge book sale going on today out in the North Lobby. This sale is to raise postage to ship Unity books to Nigeria, to people who are in the Unity Ministers Program and the Unity students there. This has been a project that has been in the works for a long time. We've had books everywhere in this building, and Alice and Ann Bowl and PJ have gathered all those up. She is saying the shipping costs are the proverbial arm and a leg. So that is why we are offering non-priority titles, books that are too heavy to send, miscellaneous New Thought titles, and a variety of others at special prices to you in order to raise the money so we can send these books. So take a few minutes today following the service and peruse the books out there. She's got great prices. There's some great titles out there, so see what you can find. Also, she told me, and I didn't know this happened, but she takes pre-orders for calendars. Any beautiful calendar that you want to order that's in her catalog, if you pre-order it, she'll give you 20% off, and she orders those ahead of time. Alice will do that in the bookstore, yes. 20% off. So go see Alice, check out her catalog, get your calendars ordered early. And the teens are doing their annual wreath fundraiser sale. They will be out there again today to take your orders. You can also order online on the website or in the newsletter. And that's it for the week. We'll see you downstairs following the service. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Beth. And I just want to say the books that we have sent over the years to Nigeria, just know one of the time, when my first week in Nigeria, in what was that, 2012, it's been a long time, a gentleman who was 80 came up to me, and he got down on his hands and knees, and he just went like this, and he said, "Thank you. I finally learned to read." And he learned to read with lessons in truth. Now, that's not an easy one to start with, but he learned to read with that, and he just had tears running down his face, and it was so beautiful, just the idea that books mean something so much more, and he said that his grandkids were working with that also, and I just said, thank you. So what a blessing. We want to welcome you if you're here for the first time or you haven't been here in a while. We just want you to know wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. We believe at Unity Spiritual Center of Portland that we're gathering to both transform lives here, but also then knowing that each transformed life touches another life and another life, and we begin that process of transforming the world because we are truly here to be a part of this movement of spirit, of shifting and opening. And so we wanted to welcome you. I just invite you to raise your hand if this is the first time you've been here in a long time or you haven't been here, just to welcome you. Is anybody here for the first time? Well, we are so happy to have you here. You can look around. There's quite a few people who are just saying, I'm here. It's good to have you. Hopefully you got one of the packets when you came in. If not, they're on the table out in the entryway. I would invite any of you who haven't done so yet to just take off the green card and fill it in, and you can turn it in the back, and there's baskets by all the doors. You can also put the nice red rose on your lapel. And for the first time in almost 2 years, I can say we'd love to meet you and greet you after the service, because we will go downstairs for that. So it's good to have you with us. And just, I'd like you to know if this community works for you, I'd encourage you to become a part, because what we do know with evolution is that it's always gathering together to move forward, gathering together in consciousness, gathering together in what we do, gathering together. And it's so important to be a part of something and to have that infilling of ideas. If it does not work for you, I would encourage you to continue seeking, to find a place that really anchors you and says, this is where I need to be, and this is where I'm moving. So we're happy to have you with us. And we are going to sing. We are going to stand and sing, We Let It Be.
We're going to start off with some love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Now the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. Now bring it up with the joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. Bring it back to the love. We let the love wash over us.
Oh, yes, we do. And I just invite you to turn around and just simply allow your eyes to look in the eyes of those around you. We let this love, we let this peace, we let this joy wash over us right where it is as us. Thank you, thank you. And by the way, you may think, oh, I don't know anybody here. Trust me, about half of us in this room haven't seen anybody, nor can we recognize anyway, with masks on. It's a fascinating journey of recognizing and knowing. And I believe the invitation right here as we regather and recreate our worlds is to remember the truth of who we are and the truth of every being around us, and to be able to recognize the divine both in ourselves and in those around us. In just a moment, you're going to hear some music, and we'll move into a short time of meditation. It's just a tiny bit of remembering that the truth of who we are is present and available with every moment, with every breath, if we will allow the message of the stillness to move through us. As I relax my body, my being, as we relax into this moment, taking deep breaths, remembering the truth of our being is wholeness, is life. We open. I am that I am. I continue turning within. I continue relaxing. I surrender to the higher knowing, to the movement of spirit within. In the silence, I am that I am. In the silence. As I continue to allow this inner knowing, life is lived from the inside out. I am that I am. I am power. I am presence. I am love. I am life. I am enough. As I continue to allow this vitalization of these ideas throughout my being, I know that I am is within my life. And I allow the light that I am to shine. And so it is. Amen.
I allow, I surrender. I allow, I surrender. I Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, oh my soul. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, oh, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, oh my soul.
Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, and everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment here, and to a new beginning here. And I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, oh, to the sweetest kind of life. Oh, get ready, oh my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, deeper and closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, oh my soul. Get ready,
ready, oh my soul. Thanks.
Wow, thank you, Susan, Gina, Mark, Michael, thank you. We are so blessed. Get ready, my soul. Anybody feel like the universe has been saying that recently? Get ready. We're diving in. However, it's diving into a deeper love, to a deeper knowing. And my belief is, even with this, all this stuff going on, my belief is that this is an invitation for every one of us to dive deeper into the truth of who we are and to find the love that we are, the life that we are, the presence that we are, and to allow it to guide us through. Now, that may not be what's showing up on the news. You may have noticed that. That may not be what's going on around here. I don't know what this order of evolution is. It is definitely evolution. There is an evolution of consciousness. There is an evolution of humanity. And the fascinating part is every one of us said yes to being here. At least from my belief. Everyone gets to have their own belief. We're not here with dogma to say you have to believe this or this or this. We're throwing out ideas, but my belief is, and Unity has this idea that literally we are evolutionary beings, that life is a continuum, and that we are on this path, this essence. As a kid, I remember my mother saying, life is like a staircase, and you're on this step right here, and you'll just keep going, because we had asked what happens afterwards, and she said, you'll just keep going. The light that you are continues to shine. And so as we recognize that and know, wow, somehow I said yes to this body, this time, this place, then we have the opportunity to really dive deeper into the soul work, into the life, into the presence of who we are right here, right now, in this present moment, and to begin trusting that it has everything we need within it, that we have everything we need within us to allow us to both allow a falling away of old ideas, old thoughts, old things that have held us. How many people in this room, and you can raise your hand if you are willing to, and online have fallen with the idea or allowed the idea I'm not enough to be a part of your life journey? Anybody had that in their head this week, this month? Is today in the last, we walk in, oh my goodness, how are they dressed? Who are they? What are they doing? What's happening around me? The diving deeper is allowing ourselves to move into a space of the heart and saying, wait a minute, I'm here for a divine purpose, a divine reason. I've come to be a part of the movement and the evolution and the moving forward of humanity. We didn't come to do it alone. But many of us have been, these are old ideas that we are indoctrinated into. And this whole book, we're in our 7th week, by the way, of what is supposed to be an 8-week series. And actually, this is the last week you'll hear about it from the platform. Those of you in spirit groups, I know we have 5 or 6 spirit groups, you'll continue on working with this. Next week, the Reverend Diane will be here. I'll be here. Reverend Sydney will be here. It'll be quite an opportunity to look at life in different ways, but this is the last one we're going to talk about this. But this idea of that movement and the falling away, we're a part of it. And the awakening of you are enough is really what Panache Desai says, is that this is what we're here to do. What if everything in the last 5 years of your life has led to this exact moment? Everything in history, everything in the government, everything in your individual life has led to this moment because it has within it everything you need. I've had some people say, that's really scary. I don't know if I want to believe that or not. But the truth is, the universe supplies us what we need. And we're both breaking down those ideas within ourselves, and we're pulling those away. We're also doing it for humanity. And you may be able to easily say, man, humanity needs to think this way and this way and this way and this way. What would happen if we looked at our lives and said, man, I need to change this way and this way and this way? And you know what that means? Find the ways that we need to open. We're getting pretty clear, or more clear, many people are, in how we need to respect every being and find the divine within and recognize and honor who they are just as they are. Now the question is, if the prerequisite for humanity doing that is us doing that, we're the ones. We're the ones. We're the ones that I believe signed on to allow this falling away, this movement, and to allow the consciousness of who we are to lift and to move. One of the things I want to welcome you into, and part of the process, we are actually starting today our 40 days of gratitude. It's kind of different. Last year you didn't even have a book. We didn't do a lot of these pieces, but today when you leave, you'll get one of these booklets. It is simply 40 pages. So it goes through, I think it's December 16th. I counted it out. I did mine this morning when I got up. But it's just simply beginning to do this. And do you know why? It takes our brain. Anybody right now looking at, let me go back. Anybody looking at what's not right in their life and the world on a regular basis? We recognize quantum physics tells us what we think creates. And so some of what we have to know what's going on. We have to be able to identify it and state it. But I'd invite you to really say, and this is the universe offering me an invitation to evolve. My opportunity today is to find a bigger picture, another way. And one of the ways we can do that is simply in gratitude. Every breath, we have so much. Every moment, there's so much available to us. And so beginning to focus that actually gets out of the old brain. And it's part of the evolution of a newer brain. It builds brainwave patterns. It builds those neural synapses. The connections that we need. So we're going to both start that, and you'll hear more about it. But we have 55 days left of 2021. What would happen? Yeah, yay! I'm hearing yay. Okay, that's the first time I've ever heard that. We have 55 days left. What would happen if you made them a journey of the heart? You loved yourself. You loved where you were, and you trusted that the journey you're on right now is sacred. It will take away the parts that you no longer need in its own way, in its own manner, and it will source you and supply you with all that you need to move into your next step. Whatever that is, wherever you are to go, all of us are the ones that are moving that. And so we started this series with just the first week was just simply the invitation. The universe offers an invitation by the journey of our lives, and we could chart them out. I don't know about you, but I could tell my story right here very easily. I can tell you what helped, what hurt, what didn't, what did this, what did that. Actually, there was one sacred invitation to rise and to love. There's another sacred invitation to love. There's another sacred invitation to love. What we know from science, and I've been working with the works again of the Ilia Delio, and this one is the unbearable wholeness of being, and it's the work with Pierre Teilhard Chardin and some of the other science work that's being done. Is that besides this evolution that's moving us forward, there's a wholeness in creation that is already calling to us. It's just like that phone. It's calling to us. It's already there. It's already formed in consciousness. We thought we had to go out and find it. If I could just find the answers, that they're out here somewhere. If I can just, search enough and do enough and be enough, somewhere I'll find it. The answers are present and available. They're fully formed. This divine idea of humanity is already within you. It's already there. I grew up hearing about the Christ. I never knew people thought that the Christ was out there in one person. I always heard the Christ is in every being, everywhere you look. The universal Christ, I think, is what Richard Rohr calls it now. Many times now, people, because of just what's happened with this language, call it the divine. The divine aspect of ourselves is part of this quantum field. It's already there. We know it. It's calling to us. So the invitation of the universe in such fascinating ways. We all have free will. Humanity has free will. We have chosen some doozies. And now we're unchoosing them, and that's our job. That's our opportunity. The second week, we went into this idea of the birth of inauthenticity, because all of us gathered around us survival mechanisms. Anybody been able to identify them lately? Do you panic when this happens? If this isn't in place, I can't survive if this doesn't happen, or this doesn't happen, or this doesn't happen. Or we just, whatever way it is, I have to act this way, I have to be this way, I have to be a good girl, I have to be a good boy, I have to, we gathered all these things. The truth of who you are, of who humanity is love. And I'm talking about a quantum field. You're a quantum field, the energy of life, of expansion, of connection, of humanity as a part, all of us, a part of this tapestry. That's the truth. And everything else, what I found is when it goes on and I stick it on, something's going to invite it off. Sometimes that's through losing loved ones. Sometimes it's through losing things that we want. Sometimes it's through this, it's through that. Now, I completely hold that we can go through life with grace and ease without any of this as we hold that space. It hasn't happened to me yet. But I am holding that there is a divine pattern and a divine way, and we have the ability to respond. So how we label it. And the third week was just simply about your essential self, and that's what he calls this divine. You have an essential self. Acknowledging it when we're on our knees and we can't find any part of the love or the life or the presence or the power, that's when we begin saying, wait a minute. There's love. There's life. There's the truth of my being. I don't have to see it. I don't have to perform for it. It's not my body. It's not anything that I've ever done or do or any of those pieces. It's me. It's simply me. And we can choose the thoughts that say, I hold you. Because then we went into claiming your essential self, and we went from there and removing the blocks. Then we said, what are the blocks? I can tell you this. When you start breathing hard and your chest tightens and life has to be a certain way, we're real close to a block. We're real close to something we've glommed onto us to think, I'm enough if I do this. I'm enough if life happens this way. I'm enough if my kids show up this way, or my family does, or somebody loves me, or they don't love me, or they leave me alone, or any of the pieces. What we find is we're enough, and we're the beings of light that move forward when we have the courage to believe in who we are and allow it to call us forth. And to claim that and to remove those blocks. One of the stories that I have permission to tell and touched my life forever was when I had just become a minister. I had gone from being one of the teen teachers, and that's what I did throughout the country for Unity, was I trained teen teachers. And I said, I'm never going into ministry. It's too difficult. It's too this. It's too that. And of course, where does life leave me? Right there. And one of our girls, one of our YOUers, she came from a German Baptist background. She moved into, and in Dayton, Ohio, that was a lot of what surrounded in the outer areas that her family drove an hour to move into there. And as a teen, she suddenly found out that this God that she thought was out there was within her. And by the end of her journey there, she was able to say, who I am is not what my family thinks I am. And we took the journey of her coming out. Now, in the world she grew up in, that wasn't allowed. And as she said, this is who I am, and began to grow in that consciousness, and I am the light, she stepped into another part of herself. And I watched this light and this ability to move her and to change her consciousness and to step into who she is. And who she is today is a powerful woman. I love seeing all the things she's doing on the organic farm that she oversees and the ways that she lives with life. And she came, and her willingness to share that with a family of 12 brothers and sisters on her mother's side, 12 brothers and sisters on her father's side, who saw that as a disease and had old training. Her willingness to step out touched a whole corner of the world. And I saw that some lives changed in some ways, some lives didn't. But what was fascinating was watching her step into it, have everything she needs. She's married, has a wonderful, wonderful relationship, and I watched her wife as she's part of the United Methodist Church. And she had been told, we'll be ordaining you soon. And she shows up at the convention a few years ago. And of course, they flew in delegates to vote against ordaining gay priests. And I watched her go through this crumbling and then rising. And now she's an ordained minister through, I believe it's called Sharing Table. And it's the ability to say, this is who I am. And I touch the world in this way. And I see them together, and there's radiating light. There's an awareness of who we are. And I look at the world that they touch, and I think they've chosen transformation of the world around them as their life journey. And the strength of who they are and their ability to touch other lives and to mentor, both of them mentor people through this journey. And I realize that's life. That's the evolution we're looking at and we're looking for. And I feel so blessed to just simply, I get tears in my eyes when I watch a being saying, this is who I am. And then say, I have enough in me to touch the lives around me. And my desire for every one of us is to know who we really are and say, this is me. And I have enough in me to touch the lives here and here and here. And when we do that, we recognize that all of life is that invitation and all of those old attachments. I know that this beautiful being wanted life. She wanted to show up. Her greatest desire when I first met her was to please her parents. And to have to change every desire of her heart to find herself transformed hundreds of people. And it still radiates out today because I hear about it all the time. So I want to know for you, your essential self, your divine light is within. It's available. Our opportunity is to speak it, to claim it, to know it when we're at our toughest times, to say, wait a minute, this is a block. So do we say, this is bad in my life because it's calling for a falling away? Or do we say, wow, this too is God. This too is good. And I have in me all I need to touch the next day and the next day and the next day because my path is sacred. And sometimes it's grief. And it's just a day at a time. But then there comes a point where we meet somebody else in grief. And the light that we've learned and the things we've let go of, the parts, I remember when I started here, and grief was a big part of my path after my husband made his transition. And he chose death by suicide. And so I went into all these old ideas and old things. And I remember saying when I started here, okay, guys, but I'm going to cry. You know what it takes to cry in front of a room full of people? Now I'm used to it. It happens all the time. I don't know why. But it was another part of me who said, this is who I am. And there's something in here that I have to give that can understand on a deeper level. And while I'd never want to repeat what happened, I am so grateful that I could finally open. And I remember thinking, all things work together for good. If I'm going to believe it, I have to speak it, I have to live as if, and I have to know it. Your life, everything works together for good. And everything in your life is a matter of heart. The topic today, that we aren't going to get to all the writings and all the things, is that every part of life is calling back in the parts of ourselves. And the parts of us that haven't learned all we need to learn, we got to love them. We just got to love them. And then we get to transform them by our thoughts, by our commitment to knowing something different, to standing in a deeper place. I never thought I'd get up in front of a room full of people and talk. There was so much time when I had that, and my daughters still now look at me and laugh, and they're like, yeah, sure, because they see, that's all they see. And so we get to find a new way. You and I have come to not live within the old stories. We can. Life will let us go along. But joy happens when we let that stuff fall away and we say, wait a minute, I came to be a part of humanity. What Pierre Teilhard de Chardin said, and Ilia Delio talks about it in the unbearable wholeness of being, is that the wholeness of being requires three types of love. One of those is that agape love, that is this overreaching love. One of us is eros. It's this, the love we can have for beings in our family, for beings in the family that we create. Families do not have to be blood. But there's this other love called philia. And it's the love that he said connects the universe. And it's already there. But we have to activate it. And it is between being and being and being. And evolution is actually the coming together of beings, of consciousness, of its increasing complexity is what literally is that evolutionary movement. The philia love is when I have the courage to not just love myself, but to look with eyes of love, to touch with eyes of love. And it requires that I stop judging my world as good or bad, but instead know that that movement of spirit is God, it's the divine, it's life. And to know that I am, you are, we are. And together we create that consciousness that connects as love and begins to change literally the consciousness of humanity. And so this week I would just invite you to hold yourself. Life is a matter of the heart. When we believe in ourselves, when we don't believe in ourselves. When we do what we desire to do, when we totally fail. Hold it in love. The things we think are our past, claim them as good. Know they are good. And allow the love that you are to show you how beautiful you are. Thank you. We are so blessed, and we have this opportunity to receive our tithes and our love offerings. And as we do that, again, the creation, the coming together, this philia, this love that we are, we're finding it more and more as we can see other parts of humanity and say, whoa, this needs change, this needs change. The first step of creation is let there be light. Let there be awareness of what is and what isn't and what needs to change and what, all the different pieces. As we hold our money in our hand, I think the biggest change is beginning to hold enough. There's enough. I'm enough. We're enough. And all the other pieces will evolve from there. So as we hold our gifts in our hands, I'd just like you to know that the cellular structure, I believe, of your being is love, divine love. And so when we say divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, we're talking about our cellular structure. Let's do that together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
My heart is waking to a new day. The night is passing and I cannot wait. This journey's calling for the best of me. I'm packed and on my way. And we will see love rise over the starlit sky. The earth restored again. The lion and lamb and every child and man live in peace again.
And I am here to make it. I know I'll live to see it. My body, soul awaken, returning home again.
And we will see love rise over the starlit sky. The earth restored again. The lion, lamb, and every child and man will live in peace again.
Together we created, together we can see it. We're joined now, we're
is waking to a new day. The night is passing and I cannot wait. This journey's calling for the best of me, so I'm packed and on my way. And we will see love rise over the starlit sky, the earth restored again. The lion and lamb and every child and woman will live in peace again. Ooh, and we will see love rise over the starlit skies, the earth restored again. The lion, lamb, and every child and woman will live in peace again.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. We are so blessed. I want to say that we have chaplains here to pray with you. That ability for people to hold where two or more are gathered is actually quantum physics. That's just simply a coming together. Something larger is created always. So they're here to pray with you. If you'd like to have one-on-one prayer, come up front at the end of the service, and they will hold that space with you. I also forgot to say the different ways you can give. You can do that online. It's a great opportunity, unityofportland.org. You can text Unity of Portland, lowercase, to 833-814-3477. And hopefully, oh, good. You're so good, Leah. Thank you so much. I appreciate Leah and Pam and Andy doing our live streaming and our sound. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can also send a check-in, or there are baskets by the back door. And also, if you'd like, if you're interested in just simply knowing more about Unity, there's a short class after service, and we're just simply looking at some of these basic teachings, spiritual teachings of Unity. So we invite you to that, and our leaf raking. There'll be connection hour downstairs. And I know she just left the room, but I wanted to say thank you to Carol Thomas, because she has donated these air filters. She also sources them for people if that's something you're interested in. They measured spaces and made sure we had large enough ones for those spaces. I'm so grateful to people who, this community is so important. And, in just a moment, we're going to stand and sing Let There Be Peace on Earth, and let it begin with me. And I just invite you, I believe it's a commitment. I believe it's a commitment to finding the peace in ourselves, even if it's really far away right now. I believe it's a commitment, a cellular commitment of saying, I'm enough for this journey. And so I just invite you to join me with that. When you leave, you will get your 40 Days of Gratitude booklet. So let's stand and simply hold this consciousness of a peace that passes all understanding.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family, all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And I realize we're not singing our youth in currently. I look forward to the day when we can, but I just invite you to encircle not just this room, but this whole space as they are gathering downstairs, to recognize the divine in every youth, not just that's present here, but every being, everywhere we go. But we just allow that love that we are to encircle them with a remembering as we see these beautiful beings. Oh, there goes the light of the world. Oh, there goes the light of the world. Just like we do when we look in the mirror. That's the assignment for this week. Oh, there's the light of the world. And so we're going to close this service with our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, God. Have a love-filled week.
I'm gonna move to the light. I'm gonna speak of the light. I'm gonna sing with the light. I'm gonna dance in the light. When I choose to remember that Spirit is all, I rejoice and give praise and shine in the light. I'm gonna move to the light. I'm gonna speak of the light. I'm gonna sing with the light. I'm gonna dance in the light. When I choose to remember that Spirit is all, I rejoice and give praise and shine in the light. I'm gonna move to the light. I'm gonna speak of the light. I'm gonna sing with the light. I'm gonna dance in the light. When I choose to remember that Spirit is all, I rejoice and give praise and shine in the light. Yeah, I shine in the light. When I choose to remember that Spirit is all, I rejoice and give praise. Ooh, look at you.